On this video, I'm going to talk about relationships as oxygen because relationships are right up there and needed as much as water, nutrition, and sleep. Hi, I'm Lucy, holistic peak performance coach and speaker. I was at an event on the 28th of November, 2024. The event was all about AI and how it worked and what its uses were and all of the things. We were learning all about it. It was a kind of an intermediate level presentation. And one of the guys at the back of the room who was in construction, but in the office side of construction, he said, I feel like this is going to put a lot of people out of work, especially people like mentors, because you'll be able to go and find a bot that can mentor you. And kind of made me smile inside. And it also made me really think about how true or not, or my thoughts about that and what they were. And if you can go and learn, you can learn from videos, you can get support from videos, you can learn a ton of stuff. But as a mentor, I feel that he would really be missing out. I really think actually he wasn't really talking about mentors, although he used that word. I think he just meant learning how to do something that he wanted to be able to do for his business in the business that he works. And so my thought around that then was a bot is not going to be able to be intuitive, to be able to go this way instead of just that way. Whereas I feel something that is AI is going to just go straight forward. You're going to deviate. There's going to be things that come up. You're going to pick up on what somebody looks like. And one of the videos I spoke on earlier was about being intuitive. And you can see how somebody looks if you're talking to them either face to face and you're in person, or if you're over a video and you're doing a video call. You can see how somebody, their body language, you can read how they're looking, how they're saying something, not just what they're saying. That's something that AI can't pick up on. They understand the words, but they don't understand the feeling and the meaning. They can't read between the lines. So for me, what he said was like interesting. He really doesn't understand, and he's perhaps never had a mentor or never had a coach. And so with high flow, if you're a high performer, don't be a lonesome high flowing performer. Make sure you're around other high performers and don't go all in on looking for something like success and wealth and status and forget about relationships. Because if your marriage breaks down because all you're doing is going for success, wealth, and status for the marriage, you might think it's like, but I'm doing that for the marriage. But you have to work on the marriage as well. You have to work on the relationship as well, whether that's with your children or with your spouse or partner, whatever. That relationship needs nurturing. Remember, it's the oxygen. You can't be doing stuff over here for this. You have to also work here. Humans are social animals. We need each other. We need that connection. We need the understanding. We need to be understood and to be able to understand others. And social isolation can be actually quite toxic. If you're going into social isolation, it might bring on things like cancer. It might mean that you're more likely to go into depression and even suicide. And so it is so very, very important that if you feel like you know somebody who's socially isolating, that you help them out of that. You keep on phoning them, you keep on being around them, you keep on popping in for a cup of tea or whatever. Now, someone who is less inclined to be social will generally be somebody who is less empathetic to somebody else. Their brain literally reacts differently because part of their brain is less active. But the bigger your network, the bigger your interaction, the more that interaction pushes you and helps you to grow, the bigger your neocortex becomes in your brain. And we have things when we're interacting, things like reciprocity. Reciprocity is fundamental. When you are giving, you want to receive. When you're receiving, you want to give. And you start anticipating the needs of others, and you can feel this harmony. If you're in a group, you want to be aligned and in harmony with that group, and you take on their beliefs, and you might take on their habits, and you might take on their behaviors even. But be aware of that as well, because you might be taking on the negative ones as well as the positive ones. So be very aware of that. So the thing is to make sure that you're in groups that are mainly positive, that are mainly high-level thinkers, that are going to be top performers, that they're going for the top. They're not trying to pull you down with their stories and their sob stories and all of that side of things. Yes, you can lift those people up, but the main people to be around are the ones that are going to be like yourself and are lifting and positive and have got the big goals and want that performance in their life to reach the next level in their life or in their business. So a couple of suggestions here. Opt for the connected option. So say yes to connections. Be proactive and reach out to others as well, especially if you see that they are a little bit alone, they're a little bit of a lone wolf. Reach out to them and dial up that feeling of belonging by introducing somebody to somebody else and saying, I think this would be a really good connection. And now they start to feel like they belong somewhere. And I've spoken to people who don't feel like they belong, and it's so sad. And I was in a group with one lady and I said, but do you not feel like you belonged when we were in that group together? Because there were only about 10 of us. And she said, yes, it was the first time for a very long time she felt like she belonged. And even sometimes she said, I still felt a little bit of an outsider because it seemed like everybody else was doing really well. And go, those stories that we make up in our heads, everybody's doing better than me. So get that connection going. Get high on helping people, right? It's really good. Promoting somebody else, giving them a hand up, literally, however way you can, saying something good about somebody. That's lifting them up, right? Just telling them how good they look, even asking them how they're feeling. All of that is lifting. It's good. It's that relationship building, and it's good, that good feeling rising, not only for yourself, but for the other person and for anybody else that happens to be listening, by the way. I would say externalize your energy by making somebody else's day better, even if you feel like you are having one of those days when nothing seems to be going right. And you can call it a bad day, you can call it whatever you want to. You got out the wrong side of bed, but do your best in that day to lift somebody else up, because when you do that, you're going to feel better too. So I ask you to ask yourself, is a bot going to be somebody that you thank, that you go and hug, that you go for a cup of coffee with, or a cup of tea, or a pint, and say, you changed my life? No, of course it's not. So if you're listening and you think bots are taking over the world and AI is taking over the world, it's really not. People need people. Bots are useful, but they're tools, right? People are here for each other. And if you're around the right people, they're going to lift you and you're going to be lifting them. And that is awesome. And that's the way it should be. There's going to be another video. coming up on screen. Going to see you over there. Give this one a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you soon. Have the most awesome day. Bye for now.